So you answer our ad in Craigslist. Yes, we're looking for very smart people, but also we're looking for people that set high goals, work very hard to achieve these goals, and make quick decisions. Why are we looking for these people? Because we have learned that people that set high goals, they usually work really, really hard. And because their goals are so high and they work so hard, in a short period of time they're able to achieve a lot more than millions of others can achieve in 10 lifetimes. What do? We identify the most successful business models that work for owners, investors, anywhere around the world. Then we raise seed capital. We hire the best people, sometimes the whole companies, to duplicate these business models. And then we ship these companies to the stock market to raise more money, to use the publicly trading stock to acquire other companies, to entice more people to come on board. Working with public companies is a privilege. Why? Because publicly trading stock is like currency, like dollars, like euros. Only government can print money. I don't recommend you try to print your money, you're gonna go to jail. But public companies can issue stock, and stock is currency. Of course, a good company stock is a good currency, like dollars and euros. A bad company stock is like money of some obscure African country. It's very easy for us to take a company to the stock market. It's very, very difficult to build a successful company. There is a lot of people making a lot of money, and they're making this money not necessarily because they're smart, but because somebody showed them that successful money-making formula. Most of the time, it's parents. It's parents that teach their kids how to run their family business. Your best friend won't tell you exactly how to make money. A lot of times, your brothers and sisters will not teach you either. But we will. I will. Not because I'm a nice guy, but because it's very, very profitable for me to teach you how to make money. When you take home 10 cents, 90 cents goes to our company. The better we teach you, the more money you're gonna make, the more money you're gonna bring to this company. Of course, raising money, although it's a main task right now, we're looking for your other experience. You never know what you're going to be involved with in the future. I used to troubleshoot computer-based systems, and many years ago I said, that's it. But you know what? In addition to raising money, I'm also provide specs to Russian computer programmers and do all kind of other things. I have a friend. He had some problems. He had to start over. He was my personal friend and still is. I gave him all the tools. Well, in the last 2 years, he earned more than $1 million. Unfortunately, he's a lazy guy. For the first 6 months, he worked very hard, but then he stopped. And now his income is going down. So, let's talk about what we do. Recently, we took a company to the stock market. It's all-in-one internet platform. It's called Neuromama Ltd. Neuromama.com. All-in-one internet platform. It has a search engine based on neural technology. What's neural technology? These computer programs can learn can learn from people that are using it. That means when a million people will be using this search engine with an average age of 30 years, this search engine will have a wisdom of 30 million years. Today is 2014. How many people could have designed Google search engine? 100? 200? There is a very few systems in this world that based on neural technology. Why? Because it takes special skills. Only mathematicians that know programming can design these computer programs. Not programmers that know some mathematics, but professors of mathematics that also know programming. There is, in the United States, there is only 2 computer systems based on neural technology. Goldman Sachs trading platform that predicts the movement of the stock market, and Fair Isaac. They have a system called Falcon that detects credit card fraud and is part of computer system in every institution in the world that issues credit cards. Our internet platform also have a browser that took Google 12 years to develop. It also have email service. It also have a video on demand system like Netflix, but with the feature to broadcast live television. So we're picking up the signal from satellites. We also have a combination of Amazon and eBay called Neurazone, and a system infrastructure of social networks called Neuramania. More than 100 of them based on people preferences, people professions, and hobbies. Our company is founded and grounded on assets. Assets are very important in every company, specifically to the long-term shareholders. A lot of companies went out of business, conservative companies. The companies that investors consider great enough, good enough investments to put all of their money. Companies like Pan Am, that went out of business 10 years before travel industry got depressed by 9/11. TWA, United Airlines, Chrysler was bankrupt 3 times. Disney, Walt Disney, he filed for bankruptcy 7 times. Well, to make sure when this company matures and gonna have to compete with younger companies, and nothing is forever, but entertainment assets are forever. Entertainment assets are beautiful things. They don't take up any space. They don't require any maintenance. They don't have depreciation, only appreciation. And unlike renting an apartment or a car, entertainment assets can be rented to millions of people at the same time. The distribution pipes for entertainment assets today are enormous. Today, every mobile type device is in essence is a television. So we have 7 billion televisions today. And people that don't have money in third world countries to buy Coca-Cola, they do have $10 a month to pay for the entertainment. So once we take the companies public, we put enormous effort in marketing and advertising. And the way we do this, again, by using entertainment assets. Let me give you an example. Recently, we acquired a small library of entertainment assets, about a dozen films, with people like Vanessa Williams before she was famous, and also 65 episodes of Jazz Network television show, half-hour episodes. We made a syndication deal with DirecTV, Dish Network, iTunes, and local channels in major cities. And today, this television program is in 50 million homes every week, 3 times a week. Half-hour program. Half-hour television program is only 22 minutes of programming and 8 minutes of advertising. Out of the 8 minutes of advertising, we have 4 minutes that we use to promote our products and services. What else we do? We launch, in Latin America, we launch television networks. We launch Planet X, that's in 9 countries, 24-hour networks. So obviously, if in a half-hour television show we have 4 minutes, in a complete network we have over 100,000 minutes a year. Plus, when we create television programs, we have unlimited branding opportunities. Give you an example, Red Bull. This is the strategy that Red Bull is using. It's creating television programs with heavy content, heavily branded content of Red Bull. So this is how we advertise. This is how we promote our products and services. This is how we promote Neuromama internet platform. Now, why are you gonna make a lot of money? You see, when I started in this business, I hardly spoke English. So I was able to get a job. That was many years ago, when long distance telephone calls were 50 cents a minute. A nice guy, he did offer me a job with a condition that I'm gonna work out of my own home and pay for my own phone bill. For about 6 months, I couldn't make any money. In a matter of fact, I was collecting rent from 7 apartments that I own, and instead of paying mortgage, I was paying the telephone bill. And then somebody gave me an advice. Instead of making all these phone calls to people that don't understand what I'm talking about, is to call only investors. Only investors that already have brokerage accounts, that already make decisions over the phone. I was able to get these leads, and my next month I made $85,000, then $120,000, then $220,000. Well, we have a database of about 100,000 investors that have brokerage accounts, that make decisions over the phone. We also link this computer system to the telephone directory, so if these people move, we are able to track them. It's not a walk in the park. It's a lot of hard work. But we have all the tools for you to make a lot of money. If you set high goals and ready to work hard, you will be getting very good at what you do. Well, let me tell you something about being very good at what you do. First of all, the only people that get good at what they do is the people that love their job. Because the only time you're gonna put a lot of time in your work if you really like your job. When you're gonna put that time, you're gonna get good. When you're gonna get good, you're gonna get prestige, attention from other people, but also you're gonna make a lot of money. People that have respect and people that have prestige, people that know what they do, get, whether they like it or not, they make a lot of money. We will bring you for a training. We will pay your way here. We're about 15 minutes from San Diego. It's a beautiful place. You read it in a Craigslist. It's a great place to live, great place to work, great place to party. And let me tell you something, we work hard and we play hard. Your payoff will have the following 5 characteristics. It is simple, it is fair, it is emphasized on trust rather than legal ties. It will not blow apart if actual differs slightly from plan. It will not provide perverse incentives that will cause one or both parties to behave destructively. The notion, like the idea that excruciatingly detailed financial projections are useful, is nonsense. New ventures are inherently risky. What can go wrong will. When that happens, we hope that no one panics, don't get angry, and don't refuse to put their time, effort, or investors to advance the company more time and money. By contrast, I hope that in the case of a crisis, you'll roll up the sleeves and help the company solve its problems. We think about capital acquisition as a dynamic process to figure out how much money we will need and when we will need it. The way we accomplish this is by treating the new venture as a series of experiments. Before launching the whole show, we launch a little piece of it. Then we'll convene a focus group to test the product, build a prototype, and watch it perform. Conduct a regional or local rollout of a service. Such exercise will reveal the true economics of the business and will help enormously in determining how much money our venture actually requires and in what stages. We will raise enough and investors will invest enough capital to fund each major experiment. Experiments, of course, can feel expensive and risky. However, it will prevent disasters and help create successes. It is a prerequisite of a winning deal. We assure you that our business model is not an albatross that hangs around the neck of our entrepreneurial team, dragging it into oblivion. Instead, our business model is a call for action, one that recognizes management responsibility to fix what is broken proactively and in real time. Risk is inevitable. Avoiding risk is impossible. Risk management is the key, which will tilt our venture in favor of reward and away from risk. Our goal is to demonstrate mastery of the entire entrepreneurial process. From identification, joint marketing strategy will create for us these opportunities. It is up to management to turn the shareholder perception into a reality, not because the people part of a new venture is the most important, but because without the right team, none of the parts really matters. What and whom we know matters, and insight and our experience, how familiar the team members with industry players and dynamics. We are not surprisingly value managers who have been around the block a few times. We personally believe that ideas are a dime of a dozen. Only execution skills count. Although we are convinced that all of our ideas are great, however, in case we had made some mistakes, they'll make a switch for another idea, and our shareholders will make money one way or another. Have you ever heard of Bernard Baruch? I'm sure you have. One of the real financial giants, a Goliath. He was advisor to 5 presidents, Republican and Democrat. They all came to him for advice. He never wanted a fancy title or an ambassadorship or anything like that. he started with nothing and made his money he became very, very rich. And what he wanted to do was share some of the wisdom he picked up on the road between being poor and being rich. And how he got rich, he made billions of dollars, I think in oil, somewhere in the Midwest. And he made his first big money, that's right, out west in Wyoming. Yes, Wyoming. In mining. And all his life, he loved the outdoors. So later, when he was an old man, he sit on a park bench in Central Park in Manhattan, New York, and people would come from around the world, literally from around the world, and ask for his advice, for his financial secrets. And he tell them what he learned. And you know something, they weren't such big secrets. They weren't secrets like how do you this or how do you do that or manufacture that. They were like ideas, simple ideas about the right way to think in order to become financially successful. And there is one thing of his that I read in the New York paper a long time ago, and I liked it so much. It had so much meaning to me that I memorized it. Here it is. Here is what Bernard Baruch said. A man has to ask certain questions. Where do I want to be? How am I going to get there? What do I have to do to get myself from where I am to where I want to be? What's the first small step I can take to get moving? So my friend, what are the answers? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be financially secure and have a monthly income of about $50,000 per month and a portfolio of income producing investments backed by something as rock solid and irreplaceable as entertainment assets and intellectual property? Do you want those investments to be worth far more to your children and grandchildren tomorrow, that when you receive them as a performance bonuses from Global Financial Trust? If that is what you want, how are you going to get there? What are you going to have to do to get yourself there? What will that small first step be? You know, really, all we've been talking about all this time is that small first step. That's it. That's absolutely all we've been talking about. That small first step to investing your time in the blue chips of a 21st century, income producing entertainment assets and intellectual properties and the best in the world, internet platform. How it started? My daughter at one time didn't come home. She was 15. I was very nervous, extremely nervous. I was scared. She's a beautiful girl. She had more than 100 medals, gold, bronze, silver in rhythmic gymnastics. And then one day, 15-year-old girl didn't come home at 3 o'clock in the morning, at 4 o'clock in the morning. I tried to reach the Facebook. It was impossible. It was impossible. That's all I needed to do, is to see who she was talking to. Well, thank God nothing happened to her. But while I was scared, I browsed through that internet and I saw how many girls was raped, molested, because they met some perverts on the internet. And that's when we got the idea to develop a social network for kids that will be friendly to kids, friendly to parents, where they're gonna have fun, but when people like me that are scared for their kids can get at least a temporary password to know, to learn who their kids been talking to. Well, the bad thing, this social network is still not ready, but everything else is ready. Today we're in the stock market. Our company is valued at $4 billion. When you come on board and earn, we will also give you some stock in this company. Well, so what is that first step? That first step is making a commitment to fly to San Diego for training. We will pick up all of the expenses associated with this trip and all other arrangements to make sure that you are comfortable and have a peace of mind. I am always planning to call somebody, but the reality is I don't have time, so don't wait for my call. Call me. I'm available at least 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. If just based on this, you're gonna make a decision to come, you're coming for about 2 weeks. We will put you in touch with Mr. Music. He is a former chief operational officer of AT&T Commercial Accounts West Coast Division. He will coordinate your trip, your training, your accommodations, your transportation. So don't wait for my call. So if you have some really serious questions, call me. Otherwise, just communicate with Michael or somebody else and come and we'll see you. You're gonna have a great time being here. If you decide to move, it would be great. If not, in 2 weeks you will learn enough to go back and work and make a lot of money. Good talking to you. My name again, Steven Schwarzberg. You read our advertising in Craigslist, maybe in the United States, maybe in Canada, maybe in Latin America, Asia, Europe, or Eastern Europe. Trust me, I guarantee you, if you want to make a lot of money and you want to work hard, you will work hard, you will make more money than you can ever spend. You and your family will never have to ask how much it costs. Never. You will have a comfortable life. You will leave a lot of money to your children and grandchildren. Just come here and we're gonna teach you to make a lot of money. We want people with your background. I read your resume. You can do a lot more than selling on the phone, and you will. We will utilize your expertise, your contacts. You will be doing a job that you love. Whatever that may be, maybe managing a lot of people, maybe managing the whole companies, maybe doing marketing, advertising, whatever. We will make sure that you will be utilized in the skills that you have already. Good talking to you. Bye-bye. See you in Rosarito. Have a nice day. Regardless of your faith, I have a faith in you that you're gonna make the right choices.